Coming up.
It is rugged. The bulls got to travel. The cows have got to travel.
If they can't calve on their own out here, they don't work.
And those cattle, when they hung them up on the rail, graded 98% choice or better. We do it all the time.
A ranch in the high country of Wyoming is standing above the competition with quarter horses and Hereford genetics. Next on The American Rancher. I'm Justin McKee, and welcome to The American Rancher. Durbin Creek Ranch is part of a family-operated agriculture enterprise located near Thermopolis, Wyoming. The operation consists of trucking, a commercial cow-calf and registered Hereford program, an acclaimed quarter horse program, and Washakie Feeders Feedlot in Worland. A lot stands out with Durbin Creek, not the least of which is the rugged, high-elevation terrain that makes tough Hereford cattle even tougher. There are no second chances at Durbin Creek, including their quarter horses.
Well, I've been in this business all my life. I guess I started out when I was a kid in Northeast Washington, and when I graduated from high school, I worked for various purebred outfits, BB Cattle Company in Connell, Washington, and several others. And eventually, I think I was 22 when we got married. And then we bought a place in Eastern Oregon, and we were in Eastern Oregon for 40-some years, I guess, about 40 years. And then we came to Wyoming. And we've been here in Wyoming about 17 years now. But we basically run a commercial cow-calf operation, a purebred operation, a horse program, and we run some trucks, and we also have a feed yard where we feed some cattle. Horses have always been my background and part of our operation. The place we had in Oregon, it was just off of the Snake River there, and we had a local guy there that we bought quite a few horses from as colts and started them. And he had a really good set of mares, but we did not like some of the stud horses that he was starting to use, so we started buying some of those mares. Of course, that's our background in our broodmare band.
Jake's family kind of started with, or, kind of wanted to go down the route of, driftwood kind of type horses because, the versatility that they had, to be able to be a ranch horse and, to naturally have cow sense and to be able to hold up also, is something that they're known for. And so that's kind of where we started. And then we ended up with the PC Wade's Frost horse. And he's a son of Sunfrost out of a daughter of Doc's Oak Sugar.
This horse is out of our Wade's Frost stud. And his mother is a Fast Commander daughter out of an Orphan Drift daughter. They're both, the stud is 23 he's out of, and the mare is 24, I believe. And they're both still going strong today. This is a 3-year-old here out of the Wade's Frost stallion and a White Lightning Ike daughter. This stud here we call Little John because he's so small. He's a 5?
5 or 6. 6 maybe, yeah, 6 because he's an 18.
And he's out of John Fame and a Royal Shakem daughter. This is a 2-year-old out of Frost and John and a Wade's Frost daughter. He's just been saddled a couple of times and he's done pretty good. So, too bad. This is the mare pinna saddle horses that we ride. This one over here is my daughter's mare, and she's... How old's Frankie? She's 20. Still goes strong. Grandmother to a few of our mares. I think my dad bought our first mares when I was probably around 12. So, and he was frustrated trying to find horses like he wanted to ride that would hold up in the rough country of the Hills Canyon. And that's where we got into it. His dad got frustrated and decided he was going to find a way to fix it.
Well, and he didn't just want a ranch horse to just ride around behind cows on. He wanted one that was athletic enough to, get done everything he needed to be able to get done and hold up the way he'd like to. And so that's kind of where it started, and that's what we've tried to go on with. We enjoy them as ranch horses because you can do more than just sit on them and follow a cow around. They're kind of fun and kind of handy, and they're really, really coming on in the rope horse world. It seems like that's what they like to do too. And raising them here in Wyoming is just the best place to raise them. Being able to raise them outside, like you saw the mares today up the mountain, and we like that. They're not behind padded walls, I guess. They learn from the beginning how it's going to be the rest of their life. So we're really thankful for that here, the room that we've got here to be able to do that, and the country to run them in.
Flint DR charge stud horse here. I was ready to start calf roping on him, and his colts they're really what we like, so. This is the old guy, PC Wade's Frost. Old Wade here, he won money heading and heeling and ranch rodeo, and he was a good ranch horse. Did everything. A bunch of my nieces and nephews learned to rope off of him. I think for 23, he's in pretty darn good shape still. Especially he just come out of the pasture yesterday with mares.
After the break.
It allows us to put pressure on those cows and sort out the type that aren't doable, usable kind of cattle.
See why Durbin Creek's Hereford C-Stock program is high above other breeders when the American Rancher continues. Welcome back. Durbin Creek Ranch near Thermopolis, Wyoming develops high-quality, all-around quarter horses. They also operate a 10,000 head feed yard in Worland. But another significant part of their enterprise is the development of top Hereford genetics. They're above most other Hereford breeders, quite literally. Durbin Creek cattle are developed in rugged country in high altitudes, and that puts feet under them that other Hereford cattle simply can't match.
We're on Cottonwood Creek. We're kind of the lower end of the ranch. We have about 600 irrigated acres here. We have one pivot and the rest is all flood irrigated. We just grow the grass up, and the bred heifers and the 2-year-olds will come down out of the mountain and they'll winter on that here where we're at. And it'll run probably a little over 20 miles up the mountain from here. It is rugged. It definitely takes a cow that'll travel up and down hills, and the bulls do a fair bit of traveling too, so. Oh, it's a Prospect Cow Camp. It was built in June 5th, 1941. So I guess there's a lot more history to it than I know. But it's towards the upper end of our summer country. Me and Hannah spent a few summers in it here, so until we had too many kids for this little area. We run about 650 commercial cows, and there's 25 brood mares or so. So by the time you're done, you got 100 horses on it. The 2-year-olds will winter here in the meadows, and all the cows 3 and up, we have a 20,000 acre allotment they winter in. And it butts right up against the north side of the ranch where the seed stock cows are. And there is some smaller pastures there, the seed stock cows winter in that are right against the main unit.
Well, we've had a seed stock program for a long time. I guess I started it kind of when I was in high school. And it's just kind of evolved from there. We ran purebred cows in Oregon, but the bull market there, it was a tough bull market. And when I came to Wyoming, I looked around, and it's like probably 95% of the cows in the state of Wyoming are black cows. And it's like, man, there's a use here for good Hereford bulls.
So this ranch allows us to manage the cow herd in a manner that we've always felt was in step with nature. You know, we can leave these cows out almost 12 months out of the year, you know, on the seed stock side.
Anymore, we do feed these purebred cows for probably 6 weeks, right when we start calving, basically because it makes it easier getting calves tagged and getting birth weights on these calves. Before we started feeding them, they just ran outside, and of course there was a lot more horseback work then, tagging calves and getting through them every day. I think we have 6 pastures in this that we rotate approximately 225 to 250 cows through every year. This grass is, you know, it's pretty dry right now. The lower end of this ranch, kind of where we're standing right here, is a 6 to 8 inch annual precip. As you get higher, we'll get up to 8,000 foot, and that's more like 20 inches of precip. We don't start calving till the 15th of April, you know, and at that point, you can see where we fed down there below that old set of pens down there. Those cows will be on that feed row for about 6 weeks, and then they're back out here.
On the commercial side, they are out 12 months out of the year, and as a result, you know, we calve later. We calve with the same time the deer and the elk are reproducing, and it allows us to harvest what the good Lord provides for us without too many man hours. Our philosophy's always been no frills, no gimmicks, no excuses, and no second chances. And these seed stock cows come out here and they work for a living, and if they can't thrive in the environment that we're providing for them, well, they're not the kind of cattle that we want, and they're not the kind of cattle we want to market to our customers. And so this ranch, you know, you've talked about how rugged and picturesque it is. It allows us to put pressure on those cows and sort out the type that aren't doable, usable kind of cattle. You know, we're a high elevation program here. We're the largest bull offering of pap-tested Hereford bulls in the breed. And these cattle, they'll go to almost 8,000 feet. And it's not a short time they stay there. They're there. You know, as we get more scientific all the time and use more AI, more ET type work, we bring in genetics from other areas, and they don't always thrive here. And so we have to be able to say with a high amount of confidence when we sell these bulls that they'll work at elevation for our customers. Every single one of those bulls is tested, and if they pap above a 42, we just don't offer them for sale because they won't work here. They test a 42 and below, they will work at 6,000 feet. If they're a 40 and below, they'll work at 7,000 feet. We try to collect as much data from birth to harvest as what we can for our commercial customers. And that's what led to the addition of Washakie Feeders in the feedlot. But you know, so we start with our birth weight. We record the birth weight, the weaning weight, the yearling weight on these cattle, and then when we get into developing those yearling bulls for our sale as 2-year-olds, we put a lot of pressure on how those bulls are going to perform. They're not on a hot ration, but we want to see bulls that can use the roughage we give them and turn it into pounds of beef. So then at the same time, we've carcass tested or sire selected and tested a lot of cattle through the feedlot. and the young sires that we're using in the purebred program. And so we've got a lot of harvest data and performance data on those calves, how they performed in the third phase.
I think our most important number that we like to look at is the CED, the calving ease direct. The birth weight plays into that, but also if these cows can calve on their own, which if they can't calve on their own out here, they don't work.
What drove a lot of these guys to black cows is udders. In this part of the world, we can get those late snowfalls, and then we get those really bright sunny days, and I'm telling you what, cowboys got tired of roping cows and greasing bags, because when you get one of them, that's what it is. You know, we've been fortunate enough that we breed tucked up, good tight udder on our cows, and it has not been a problem to us here. 2 years ago, we had a tremendous winter. It seemed like the higher elevation you went, the less snow you got in, so we just threw down all the gates and let them cows, I think they kind of followed the elk, is what they did. But I know when we branded last spring, I think we were only short 10 cows, and there's people in this country that lost hundreds of cows. So that, you know, that kind of speaks to our program, what we do with these cows.
Up next.
You know, they're always telling us that these Hereford sired cattle won't grade. Well, that's baloney. We do it all the time.
Durbin Creek Hereford genetics stand out on the rail. More about that when the American Rancher continues. Welcome back to the American Rancher. The Agar family at Durbin Creek Ranch operates an ag enterprise with trucking, quarter-horse breeding, commercial cattle, and Hereford seed stock. It's one thing to say your cattle can perform, but until they hang on the rail, it's just talk. That's where Durbin Creek's Washakie Feeders Feedlot in Worland comes in mighty handy. The Agars feed their own cattle alongside customers' cattle so they can see firsthand how their Hereford genetics perform all the way to the rail.
We have fed a lot of cattle. In fact, we sold a pretty good number of bulls last spring to Timmermans.
Timmerman family.
Yeah, but which Timmerman is it?
It was Ronnie.
To the Ronnie Timmerman outfit over in Nebraska, and they did not want those bulls for black baldy replacement heifers. The biggest reason they wanted those bulls is because of the feedlot data that they have seen, performance that they have seen our cattle produce. But 3 years ago, we harvested 850 head of predominantly black baldy steers all on the same day. Those cattle were approximately 18 months of age. They had been in the feedlot for just short of 200 days, and they gained 4 pounds a day while they were at the feed yard. And those cattle, when they hung them up on the rail, graded 98% choice or better.
We talk about here in the West that the baldy cow she's the queen of the West. But you can take that Hereford influence, and in the southern states, you can add it to the Brahma influence cattle, and wherever you add Hereford, it makes a good female. They work for you, they're hardworking. And you know, we look at so many of these ranches around us that their mature cow weight has got away from them. And as their mature cow weight's got away, they'll tell you their weaning weights have plummeted. It's not tracking. The amount of feed they're putting into these females is not translating into pounds of calf weaned. And it's amazing what a little shot of hybrid vigor will do for you.
Yeah, a lot of these guys that are running a straight black program, you know, I've had them tell me it's like those people over in Nebraska, they're only getting a 80% conception rate on their breed up on these cattle, and it's like that's not going to work for us.
This set of mama cows right here, they ran through these pastures last year. Last year was tough here. It was dry, it was hot, and those cows managed through these pastures, and we still 94% conception rate. Is that correct?
No, we were like 97.
Okay, it was all together. The cows in the other ranch were,
yeah,
but 97% conception rate here. And that's the biggest thing, is these old Hereford cows, they can go out, they can raise a calf and wean it and get bred back.
I might interject that we tie breed these cows, synchronize them, breed them AI one time, and then we dump the bulls in with them for one cycle. And then, you know, it's like a 45-day breeding period.
Our annual production sale is the first week of February. This year it'll be February 5th. And we usually market 110 coming 2-year-old Hereford bulls, and there'll be 250 or 300 head of true F1 black baldy females as well. And if I can get the kids to release a horse or two, we'll have a few horses in the sale. But so we hold that there in Worland, just down the road from the feedlot, and it's kind of a fun day for us to see it's 2 years worth of work that you see come to fruition in that day. For 3 years, we went together with another breeder in Montana and had a female cell, and you know, we've sent females to everywhere, New York, Kentucky, and they've thrived everywhere they went. The 9205 cow is a kind of a really cool cow that landed in a program in Tennessee and has been really popular within the seed stock breed in the last year. So they'll if they can survive in this environment, they can adapt and survive in a lot of places.
To learn more about the Durbin Creek Ranch and their upcoming bull sale, log on to DurbinCreekRanch.com. And to find out more about us, log on to our website, theamericanrancher.com, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Justin McKee for Pam Minnick and the entire American Rancher team. Thanks for joining us.